Excellency, welcome to Daily Tribune. Could you just brief some of the significant achievements or milestones accomplished during your tenure in Bahrain, especially, in the context of bilateral trade, investment, and cultural exchanges?
As far as my tenure is concerned, I would want to say that it has been really wonderful and very productive 3 years in Bahrain. As you know, India and Kingdom of Bahrain share deep-rooted historical ties. I have seen these ties grow from strength to strength in all fields. It's a multifaceted relationship comprising all dimensions of political, security, economy and trade, culture and people-to-people relations. If I have to recount certain significant points, so I would say first and foremost what I saw is a commitment, is a sincere desire on part of both governments to further strengthen and diversify this relationship. Accordingly, there have been a number of high-level engagements. I would say even during COVID times, the interactions at the level of ministry, senior ministers continued in different, our foreign minister visited, foreign minister Zayani went to India, then there were virtual meetings, and most recently we had Honourable Speaker of Lok Sabha of India visiting Bahrain, and from Bahrain Ministers of Commerce and Telecommunications visited India. So this has strengthened the relationship. As you know, if I have to come to some data, if I can share with you, our bilateral trade has almost doubled from the pre-COVID times. It is now close to $2 billion. Similarly, investments and economic collaborations have increased. Our strategic partnership has strengthened. Bahrain has joined International Solar Alliance last year. India has joined Combined Maritime Forces as associate partner. India firmly supported Bahrain's membership of SCO. So these are just to name a few. Overall, I see a great positive direction to our bilateral ties. There is momentum. I'm sure that in times to come, our bilateral ties will scale newer heights.
Thank you, Excellency. As you rightly said, the import-export between Bahrain and India is increasing day by day. But unfortunately, DTA is still not happening. Could you tell me what are the reasons?
That I am aware. It has been, communications have been ongoing between the two finance ministries. Main reason why it could not happen so far was the absence of tax structure in Bahrain. But let me tell you that continuous communication is there. During the last Foreign Office consultation meeting, which was the delegation was led by His Excellency Dr. Sheikh Abdullah, Under Secretary Political Affairs, there was a strong representation from the Finance Ministry, and the two finance ministries met on the sidelines. More recently, there was a virtual meeting, I think just last month or earlier this month, between the two finance ministries. So negotiations are ongoing, and I am very hopeful that we can see some positive forward movement in this regard.
What are the challenges you faced as an ambassador in Bahrain, and how did you manage to overcome that?
I think this is a very difficult question to answer. Let me say, when we arrived in Bahrain, as I was talking to some of our friends yesterday, you don't feel that you have come to another country. It's people are so friendly. It's a very hospitable country. And I think it's not my opinion, it's opinion of entire Indian community, which is the largest expatriate community in Bahrain. They feel welcomed, they contribute to the economic development of the kingdom, and government of Bahrain appreciates that. Challenge, I would say, because I came in the middle of the pandemic, when pandemic started and there were no vaccines. So of course, that involved a lot of coordination with the government of Bahrain, different agencies, health ministry, as well as health ministry of India, civil aviation authorities, and of course, very close coordination with Indian community, which I would say it was challenged because it was challenging times, not because we received wonderful cooperation and support from both sides. I mean, I was very fortunate that health ministry and other agencies, civil aviation authorities of both sides responded very well and in time, and you have seen the results. The government of Bahrain has actually taken care of Indian community in an exceptional way. I mean, in addition to medical and other support, they provided vaccination on par with their own citizens. And similarly, whenever, in case of India, there was so much cooperation when we needed assistance. They were the first country who responded and supplied oxygen. Indian government also provided vaccine and medicines and then kept all supply lines open. So that was good. I mean, that was a really challenging period, but I think in Bahrain we did well during that period. Otherwise, I think our relations are so deep, and people of both countries are familiar with each other's people and cultures so much that it has been really an easy task for me. And I'm sure my successor will also have it that way and will work for strengthening the bilateral ties.
Excellency, I'm going to ask you 5 questions. I want a single word answer for this.
Okay.
If you had choose one Indian dish to represent the essence of a diplomatic relationship, what would it be? Gulab jamun or baklava? I mean,
I will say samosa or sambusa,
okay.
which is very popular in Bahrain and of course in India.
What aspects of Bahraini culture or tradition will you miss the most as you prepare to depart from Bahrain?
In this context, I would like to also recall my experience of, I was fortunate finally this year after COVID restrictions were lifted, I got an opportunity to attend a number of majlises. This is something which I will take with me.
Majlis, basically.
Majlis, festivals.
Which is one place where your wife prefers to go on a weekend in Bahrain?
I will have to say 2 at least.
Okay.
One is, of course, Karatal, Bahrain, and the Bahrain Fort, which is something we really like. I mean, the way it represents not only Bahraini history and culture. And second is Babel, Bahrain. Babel, Bahrain, it has a history.
Excellency, this is an interesting question. What could be the title? Be if Bollywood created a movie about your diplomatic journey in Bahrain.
Okay, that's, I think, I have never thought about it. As a diplomat, when we come to any country, we do our job. I think what made this posting special was really the depth of friendship between our peoples. I think this is something very striking. So maybe something similar to this, if you, and of course my own journey, I met a large number of Bahraini people as well as our members of community. And we are going back with very fond memories, and I'm sure at least some of these friendships will continue for a long time.